pretty sure that The Handmaid's Tale was written as a warning, not a freaking instruction guide, not a guidebook for patriarchal BS to continue on its usual path. We have to stop it. I'm Linda Kay Gifford. I said I'm a CSA survivor and a neurolinguistic practitioner specializing in cPTSD, which I have naturally because I was sexually assaulted, groomed, and assaulted for years of my life. And I'm here to say there are a lot of reasons why people have abortions, and nobody wants to have an abortion past a reasonable limit anyway. So this whole argument, for one thing it's doing is hurting the red side, boo-hoo, but you're never going to get the states. Not that you've gotten rid of Roe v. Wade, overturned that. The states are not going to back this, with the possible exception of Florida, and they're fighting back too. So what you need to understand about abortion is, A, nobody wants to have an abortion. Okay? B, if they do, they've probably got a damn good reason. That is, C, none of your business. It's none of my business. I don't care if you would have an abortion or not. I don't care. It's irrelevant to me. It's not a right or wrong issue. It's one of those things like trans children, where we just need to understand that we don't understand. So leave it to their families and leave it to their doctors. There's no big push to make kids trans, and there's no big push to make women go get pregnant so they can have abortions. It's not in any way helpful to us as women. But it is sometimes a necessity for some of us in our own minds, and that is our own business. Okay, I've got a new setup here today. Yesterday, I just kind of freaking gave up. There it is. I made it go away. Look, I can make things appear and disappear. It's like magic. It's like magic. We're blowing up, guys. Thank you. Sweet Survivor is making an impact. I've been building this for 3 years since I started writing my book and building out the workshops. And we spent the last 7 weeks talking about literally letter by letter, the SPADES workshop. S, the shame is not yours. P, separate the past from the present. A, ask for what you want. Don't just take what's given in life. D, dive in. Don't wait to feel okay to be okay. And E, educate and advocate. And the final S in SPADES was spirit. You can interpret that however you like. Just make sure that you know that you're part of something bigger than you. And also that you are the biggest part of that something, because in your universe, you are the center. And being the center of your universe, we come to today's topic, which is orgasms. Orgasms. It's so important because as a CSA survivor, which is childhood sexual assault, if you don't know that, you should probably do if you're here, we have a different understanding of what sex is, and we don't even know it. And this is what I teach people, because when I learned it, it changed my life. It changed my life. I don't know about you guys, but being orgasmic is not something generally associated with women. We fake it. 80% of women, and there's various studies, but I'm going to roll them into averages. 80% of women have never had an orgasm with another human being, or at all, actually. 60% never with another human being. No, 80% have never had one. I'm doing this wrong. Women are so used to being performance artists that they just go through, and even though you like it and it's pleasurable, if you're not going all the way to orgasmic joy, then you're missing something that your partner is not, probably, depending on who your partner is. I assume one of you is having orgasmic joy, and it should be both of you. And the thing is, as long as we measure ourselves against each other and try to control each other and try to emulate each other, we can't be our authentic selves. And being your authentic self is the only way that you can open up to another person, that you can find the right person to open up to at all, much less open up to them in such a real way that you feel the fluidity of the sexual experience with the partner. And in my work with other cPTSD survivors, I mean, I was more surprised than anybody. I thought I liked sex. I thought I was pretty good at it. I've never been particularly promiscuous. I've never been particularly nunny either. I'm just a normal girl. I married 3 people that I thought I loved. And I see now that because of my childhood sexual assault and grooming, and my first experiences being a combination of I'm a human, so I feel these things that should be considered pleasurable, but they're coming in a context at such a young age that I feel like a bad person, that I feel violated and used and dirty, right? When that is your first or your first 100 sexual experiences, many more for some of us, then you don't understand that people that didn't have that experience actually, I've said it before and I'll say it again forever, even if it was your own choice and it was a bad choice, it was the wrong person, whatever, if you made the choice yourself, at least you had the opportunity to feel real stimulation, to feel real desire. So everyone's first sexual experience was probably a really bad idea. But if you made it yourself, hopefully you didn't shut down your own emotions, your own feelings, and hopefully you connected your sensile abilities with the fact that you're connecting with another human being. And this is where it all goes wrong. This is where the language of society sets up all this game playing, all this, you got to be like this, you got to be like that, you got to do this, you got to do, you know, it's all about pretending to be the perfect person for somebody. And if you have cPTSD stemming from childhood sexual assault, you probably really, really try hard to be the perfect person for everybody. Maybe too many buddies. We talked about that a lot. I'm going to say it again right now. Don't have sex with anyone you have not been mentally intimate with and considering having sex with for at least a couple of months. You need to know somebody. And you need to Google them. You need to know what their background is, because people practice deceptive sex all the time. They tell you they're someone else. They tell you they're not married. They tell you they have this degree or that. They tell you whatever you want to hear to get in your pants. And actually, this comes around to the third topic of today, which I wasn't going to go to yet, but consent. This is what Joyce Short, please go read Joyce Short's books on carnal deception and consent matters. Your consent is the key to conquering sexual assault. And it's true. Joyce Short called me up not even a couple weeks ago, and said she appreciated what I was doing and asked for me to advocate, to talk about to talk about the Consent Awareness Network. And this all goes hand in hand. When your sexual experiences are in childhood and you're groomed for years, I mean, mine started, I'm going to say at 10, when my sister married him, and, penetration didn't happen until 14, when I was raped and sodomized the first time I ever had sex by his friend, not him. And then when he found out, then I was fair game after that. Evidently, someone else had done the dirty. Up to then, it was just oral sex and manipulation, mental manipulation, working me to feel that I was my niece and nephew's mother, who I don't even have a relationship with now. Sadly, this kind of stuff destroys families. And you know who wants me to shut up the most? My family. Just blows my mind. It blows my mind. And if you're in that situation, you have choices to make. Are you going to change the world for the better? Are you going to stay with a partner that you're pleasing but you get no pleasure from? You can stay, but you need to start speaking up. This is the A in spades. Back to that. Ask for what you want. You have the right to experience actual orgasms, the kind where they work at it, where they learn about your body and your clitoris and your G-spot, and they work mentally to find that comfort place of joy and love, and also real stimulation that actually, like I, back to the top, women have orgasms. Surprise. We're in America, and in American women, 80% say they don't have orgasms with a partner. I was saying this up top, but I got all tripped up in my numbers. 60%, it was like another 20% have had orgasms with tools. And then there's just like this huge number of people that just fake it. They don't even know what that is. You know, they think it's a myth, the mythological orgasm. Well, it's not. I have plenty of them, and just about every damn day. And that's because I learned that I get to choose my partner. I learned that my self-respect and my dignity depends on me being in any situation I'm in, especially a sexual one, based on my desire and willingness to be there. And my willingness was there in the past. And I thought willingness was desire. But willingness is not desire. Willingness can be coerced. Willingness can be tricked. Willingness can be, it's the only goddamn way out of here because they just macheted 14 of my family members and they're only going to let me live because they can rape me. All true stories. So, everyone's reality is different. And across the board, whether we're talking abortion, whether we're talking trans kids, whether we're talking your choice in your physical relationships, it's just all got to come down to an understanding that we are all different, that we all make our choices, and within the boundaries of human decency, you just need to make your own. And I encourage you to make your choices based on what is best for you. And that doesn't make you selfish. So many religions teach you as a woman especially, men, go build, build, build. Women, serve, serve, serve. And it's like, I love to serve. I love feeding my family, taking care of my community. I love picking up trash when I'm on hikes. I love making my partner feel like the most special human in the world, mentally and physically. I love serving because those are things I choose to do. And everyone should have the right to choose what they do. You don't have to like it, but you do need to get off everyone else's backs. And you do need to get on your own. That was not planned. You do need to get on your own or on top or any other way because you are a physical being and we can work. I'm not going to be able to do that right here. And there's no touching involved. I'm not that kind of a sex therapist. I finally changed my name back to public figure because this is blowing up out of control. And I've got so many dick pics. It's shocking. Yeah. I'm like, wow. So I had to take huge measures. My phone has to be on focuses off, like nobody can talk to me except for my family and friends. It's becoming a nuisance. But I'm telling you, you can heal and you can feel feelings that you didn't even know were possible, that you didn't even know were things. And you, just like I as a CSA survivor, can relearn how to sniff your way to the right partner after they get through your mind, after they get through your ethics, after all of that. If they still smell like somebody you want to taste, if you know what I mean, then they're your person. If they don't, then they're your friend. And if they repel you, run like hell, get out. You don't have to accept an arranged marriage. You don't have to accept a relationship that you abhor. You can't maybe get out in a minute, but you can change your life and you can get out. And you can help me help people by supporting Sweet Survivor. So I'm going to wrap up here. SweetSurvivor.com. Things are growing rapidly. And I actually, I was just given like creator access to offer products. My CD is on there. Del McCurry cut my song. We won the IBMA International Album of the Year award with his album It's Just the Night. And while I'm not technically bluegrass, I'm kind of all over the board and have had good reviews in performing, songwriter, and whatnot. And I'm selling my CD for $1.99 right now through here. It's $9.99 on my website. It's $1.99 here because I want to put it out there, and because Little Girl, a song on there, is really details what it's like to be an adult survivor of childhood sexual assault. Little Girl, the song on the CD, deals with everything from what happened, grape juice and gin, kitty cocktails again, watch the pretty little doll's head spin, perverted lies, he blamed her eyes and took her through her strangled cries, you know. And the chorus is, and I can't stop the voice in my head that says she might be better off dead. And the other chorus is, she can't stop the voice in her head that says I might be better off dead. And this is dealing with having multiple personalities, not exactly multiple personalities, but alters. I've learned to keep all my alters in one place in my mind, but there was a time when I separated into three because that made more sense. And there was a time I tried to kill, 2 times I tried to kill myself, and once succeeded for about 4 minutes, but came back. And I will discuss that again. It is, there's a YouTube video from a couple of years where I talk about it, well, on YouTube. So I'm going to wrap up here today. And I do want to say that Sweet Survivor is growing. We do need your $5 subscriptions. You can start and stop it at any time, all by yourself. No waiting for an admin. It's your self portal. If you can spare $5 for 1 month to eternity, I'd appreciate it. I also need $11,500. Yeah, for the workshop. That's not a lot. Come on, there's a lot of us. So if you would donate anything, I'd appreciate it. People who donate, I will be giving you shout outs. I am both in my credits and here, but unless you want to be anonymous, then let me know. I think there's a barcode on this. I just like added all this because we have grown and gotten more access. And I appreciate that. We're going to change the world. I don't like it the way it is. And I love it so much overall that I want to preserve the goodness and I want to make it better for future generations. And right now, I want to work with Thorn to stop sex trafficking and report to them. And if you're afraid to report to them, then use my chat box, use my messenger, and I will report anonymously. You can take that to the bank and sue me if your name gets involved. No one's going to get in trouble if they're not doing anything wrong. They just have the cyber capabilities to see what's going on or not. Thorn, report to Thorn, or report suspicions of sex trafficking, abuse, and assault to us. And it's all assault. It's not abuse. Sexual abuse is a misnomer. Please start calling it assault because the legal system recognizes abuse as a lighter thing than assault. And when you stick your dick in somebody against their will or a child, don't you think that's worthy of calling assault? I do. And I insist that you do too. So you can help me change the world by doing that, if nothing else. But I want a whole lot else. So please join Sweet Survivor. Please report to Thorn. And as always, if you need help now, RAINN, RAINN, The number is 1-800-656-4673, and you will be routed to your local, regional, the closest center to you that can work with you and figure out how to get you some help. But, the follow-up to that is definitely make that call. But when it comes to actual women's shelters, we are sadly deficient, and I am on a mission to build them. So we're going to do that thing. I will talk to you next week or probably sooner because the new studio seems to be working out. Yeah, a little more soundproofing from the construction crew. Sorry about that. But you should see the house. They did a good job. I'm going to talk to you guys later. Take care. And as always, use hashtag freely, F, given, G, knowledgeable, K, informed, I, agreement, A, FGKIA, freely given, knowledgeable, informed agreement. That is what consent is. And until there are laws that define that, then judges let off the perpetrators while punishing the victims. And that is not okay. And we're going to talk at length about that next time. It won't be next Wednesday. I'm going to do a whole thing on consent here in the next couple of days. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye. Actually,